So I went from couch to half marathon in 6 months. Here's the proof. Brooklyn half. Finisher. I did my half marathon 1 month ago. I did the Brooklyn half marathon, and I just kind of wanted to talk about my running journey, my experience running, how I got there, and just talk about some like products that I find helpful as a beginner runner. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. Oh my god. It's actually like very heavy. I was like shocked. I was like, oh, did I like win the Olympics? Like this is very like it's very professional looking. I'll give you a little bit of like history about my running journey. I started working out consistently when I turned 20. It's pretty essential to my mental health. You know, throughout like moving cross country and stuff, I've taken breaks, but honestly, no longer than like 2 months. I just like I have to work out or I just feel like not like myself. So I feel like I had a good base of fitness, but I didn't do a ton of cardio. I would maybe run a mile on the treadmill at the end of my workout just to get like some cardio in, but that was really it. The longest I had ever ran before training for my half marathon was 2 miles, and I had only done that one time. I really did not have any experience in running. November 2024, I went and watched the New York City Marathon, and it just like ignited something in me. I've always wanted to do, like literally every year since like 2016, I've always said, oh, my New Year's resolution is to run a 5K or like to get into distance running, and then I literally never do it. And I was watching the New York City Marathon and I was just like, I want to do this someday. When I was watching the marathon, I don't know what happened. I was just like engulfed by the energy, by just seeing people. I think we were around mile 19. We were on the Upper East Side, so around there, and just seeing so many people like make their dreams come true, just like the grit and determination that it takes to run a marathon. Literally got home the next day and I made my New York Roadrunner account. So there's this program you can do if you live in New York City, or if you're close to New York City, you can get into the city easily. If you run 9 eligible races throughout the year and volunteer at one event, you get guaranteed entry. You still have to pay for your entry, but you get a guaranteed slot into the next year's marathon. I am currently at 6 out of 9 runs, and I've completed my volunteering, and I'm registered for the rest of my races, so I'm on track to run the 2026 New York City Marathon. Very exciting. After I signed up for my account, I entered the lottery for the Brooklyn Half Marathon, thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna get in, like I'll start running the eligible races that are like 5Ks, 4-milers, something that seems more doable. No, I get accepted. I get charged to my credit card and I get an email saying like, you're in the Brooklyn Half Marathon, and I was like, well. And I find out in January. So I was like, okay, I have 5 months, a little less than 5 months, like 4.5 months to train. And like, there's no excuses now. I have to, I have to do this because I can't get out there and embarrass myself. And so immediately after that, New York Roadrunners and Runna were partnered to do a specific program for the half. And that's what I ended up doing. Before I signed up for the Runna program, I could barely run a mile. So in November, I started running. I didn't know that I was going to run the Brooklyn half yet, but I just started running on a track, and I would break down in tears because I literally could not finish a mile. And I just thought to myself, I was like, how on earth are you going to do a marathon? Like who do you think you are? You run 26 miles, you can barely even run 0.7 of a mile. So it's really discouraging, and honestly, like my whole body just hurt. It took about, I'm not even kidding you, probably like 25 runs to actually feel good in my body running. And it's not like I was running on an injury or anything. It just takes a lot to get used to. And especially when you have no running experience, like you're not going to do this overnight. And I think that's something I see online a lot, is like these influencers being like, come run a half marathon with me with no training. And I don't think that that is a good mindset to have. And I actually think it's kind of a dangerous rhetoric to put out there, because doing something without training is not a flex. It's just going to increase the likelihood that you will injure yourself. Sorry, I have like so many thoughts and I'm trying to like get them all out in a concise way. But yeah, back in November, I just started running 2 to 3 times a week, like 1 mile. Literally my mileage count was like 3 miles for the week, 5 miles max for the week. And so yeah, I was doing that until January, just trying to run, trying to get out there, trying to run on the treadmill. And I really felt like I was making zero progress. And then I started doing my Runna program, and right from the get-go it had me doing like 3-mile runs, and I couldn't do that yet, and so I started doing run walk intervals. I swear by this. This is the best way to build your endurance. I would run for 7 minutes, walk for 3, run for 7 minutes, walk for 3, and I could get to 4 miles, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually kind of amazing. And eventually I could run for 10 minutes, walk for 2, and I just kind of tapered it myself until I was running like 2 miles, and then I needed a break for like 0.1 of a mile just to like drink water and whatever. So the endurance built up a lot faster than I thought it would, and I was really shocked. I also want to say I'm a slow runner. I ran my half in like 2 hours and 46 minutes. It was an average pace of 12:30. I'm a slow runner. I'm looking through my program that I did. I did a 17-week plan, and the 17th week was the week of my run. So, and pretty like early on, I would say I had an injury. So week 6, I did 0 runs. I was scheduled to run 13 miles. I didn't do a single run. I was dealing with foot pain. It was like at the balls of my feet, and it was just so sharp. And I was like, if I run on this, I'm just gonna make it worse. And I think that was like the biggest thing that I had to learn in the running journey was like, sometimes you have to take breaks. Like you have to take the week off, or what you're running on. You're running on a bad foot. So week 6, I did 0 runs. Week 9, I only did 1 run. I got horrifically sick for 4 weeks straight, and it wasn't like sniffles. I know some people online will be like, run if you're sick, like you're fine. But mine was like in my chest, so it was my breathing, so like I genuinely could not run. So week 9, barely ran. Same with week 10. Week 11, I missed my long run. It was supposed to be an 8-miler. Didn't do it. Like I was just really struggling. Week 14, rebounded, got a little bit sick again. I only ran 5 miles. I was scheduled for 20. So I guess I'm just saying that to say like it is not a perfectly linear journey. I really genuinely never thought that I would be a runner. This past week, I did a 4-mile run. I did a 5-mile run. I did a 3-mile run. Like I'm just running for fun now. Like I just did 5 miles on the treadmill just for like fun. I would say that the biggest thing was just booking the race, like just signing up for it, because like I said, I always just said that I would do it, and then there's no consequences if you don't, right? Like it's harder to keep yourself accountable when you have no end goal. There's like nothing at the end of the tunnel to be excited for. And I was so nervous for this race. Like I was so nervous. I really doubted myself. When I ran the half, it was like like one of the best days of my life, honestly. If you guys don't know, I haven't graduated college. I'm gonna be in my last year coming up this fall, but I didn't graduate in 4 years perfectly after high school, right? So like I graduated high school in 2016. I'm gonna graduate college in 2026. So it's taken me 10 years of like on and off school, kind of flip-flopping around. And I was always kind of like follow the rules, get good grades, like that kind of student. And so when I didn't get my degree after 4 years, like when my life took a very different turn, it was very hard for me. And it's actually like sad to talk about, because from like 19 to 24, I felt so much shame, like so much deep shame about not having my degree. I was so sad. I felt like a useless person in society and my relationships. I felt like I wasn't a successful person in any regard, and it was like really, really tough mentally for me. Running has kind of given me this outlet to work on something without it being tied to academics. Like I am in school now, like I know I'm gonna get my degree and I'm kind of like over those hard feelings, but working towards a goal like running has felt really good, because you know, since graduating high school, I haven't really had these like milestones to celebrate. Literally until the half, I haven't had a college graduation. I haven't had a work promotion. You know what I mean? So I felt kind of like I was missing out on hitting a goal. Running the half marathon, getting this freaking medal. Like I literally feel like this is my college diploma. It just felt good to work towards something. It felt good to like have people be proud of you. You know what I mean? Like to have just, yeah, I don't know, just that goal. I don't know how to explain it, but it really made me feel empowered again, and it felt nice to chase something, yeah, that wasn't school, that was like goal oriented, and that I did like completely by myself, you know? It's been a really great journey. I'm so excited to see where running takes me. I have a couple like lofty goals, I guess, that I like am just keeping in my head. Yeah, it's just been a really great outlet. I've always loved fitness, you know, my whole 20s, like I've just been really committed to fitness, because yeah, it makes a world of a difference in my mental health, and running has been a really great addition to that. You know, sometimes you have really, really tough runs. Like some of my runs, I didn't finish the distance that I was like supposed to, and I do like come home in tears. Like you have a bad run sometimes, but then you will like are ready on your next run to conquer it, right? You're like, okay, last run was bad, allowed myself to like feel the pity, right? I grieved my bad run, and now I'm ready to conquer. Now I'm ready to redeem myself. And like the feeling of having a good run, there's nothing like it. And I don't really have much good advice beyond just like, keep doing it. Keep showing up for yourself. I think the thing that I'm realizing with running is it's like 15% genetics and luck, and the rest of it is just consistency. It's showing up, it's running even when it's a little too hot, or if it's raining, or carving out time to go to the gym. It's the dedication piece that really like pulls it all together. They sent out stats recently, like once they finalized everything, and I absolutely love this graph that they gave. So it shows your pace when you were the fastest and then when you were the slowest. I feel like I could not have executed this race any better. So it starts right outside of Prospect Park and it kind of winds around. And if you've ever been in Prospect Park, you know there's this one absolute killer hill. It's like completely vertical. That was around mile 3. So I knew that hill was coming. I had ran, on that road before. And so I took it very slow, like so slow so that I wouldn't burn myself out, which you can see like throughout the park, so slow. And then my last, 3 or so miles, so fast, so green. That's, you couldn't wish for anything better, right? I feel like a lot of maybe rookies start out really fast and then burn out by the end. But I started out at around like a 13-minute mile, and then my very last mile I did in 10 minutes. My husband got a new camera recently, and so he took just like the best pictures ever. Yeah, I felt really strong the first 3 miles. I was feeling great. I saw my husband and my friend, and then I saw them again around mile 7. And mile 7 is when the runner's high took over. Okay, my husband took this picture of me. I look insane. I'm like, I look so crazy. No, I was truly like having the time of my life, okay? Like I was actually having so much fun. At mile 7, you branch off from the park and then you literally just shoot the rest of the miles straight down. A lot of people said this was boring, but I didn't mind it. Like it was a fun course for me. I kind of liked just going straight down because you didn't really have to think. Like it was flat and you just went, It did get difficult around mile 8 because throughout the whole park, there's people clapping and cheering. There's like a ton of commotion. There's like bands playing live music, and it's like, that's where the party is. And when you get on that long stretch, there's really not many people watching, and so it's kind of hard to keep up that energy, but I was still feeling like so good. I stopped at every single aid station. I was just like really prioritizing being healthy and finishing healthy. I didn't want to collapse. Yeah, I took it slow, made sure I drank enough Gatorade, enough water, I took enough candy. I just like really focused on how I felt in my body, and I think that was like the smartest thing I did. So I was like kind of in a funk from like mile 8 to like mile 10, so only 2 miles of like kind of feeling like ugh. But then once I hit mile 10, I was like, oh my god, we only have 3 miles left. Like this is so like I couldn't believe how fast it was going. I was like, already? I was like, no, I haven't run a half marathon. Like there's no way. Like already? And the course is really cool because it is straight down, but then at some point you run into Coney Island, and so you can see all of the rides, and it was like, oh my god, is this a Disneyland run? Is this a Disney World run Disney? So it was really cool. And then yeah, around mile 12, that's when the crowds start picking up. You're like closer to the boardwalk, and then you literally run on the boardwalk, and that's where you finish, like right in the middle of everything. Yeah, it was just like the best day ever. And then we were in Coney Island. We got hot dogs. I smashed 2 hot dogs, an order of fries, and a cold Heineken beer. Heineken's my favorite beer, and it was so funny. Like I usually don't crave anything after a run. I was like, I need that beer. It was hot. It was hot. I just ran 13 miles. I was like, I need that carb hit. And it was like the best beer of my life. Like I'm usually not like a beer person, right? Like I like beer, but I'm never like, oh, I need a cold beer right now. And yeah, maybe that's my post-race ritual now, like a post-long race. Like I need a beer stat. I think the next day I went on like a 2-mile walk. It was pretty, like my legs hurt, but I was like pretty good. Like I definitely could have done a run like pretty soon after that, but I was actually going to Germany for my vacation. So I took a good little break to heal my legs, and now we're back at it. So 10 out of 10 experience. I cannot wait to see what the full looks like. I will be out cheering at the full this year. I just can't believe the amount of progress that I made, and yeah, that I was able to finish it safely and confidently, and like I felt so good. It was like insane. And one last final kind of thought before I talk about this stuff: everyone can be a runner, but not everybody has to be. If you try this sport and you don't like it, like that's totally fine. I know there's kind of an uptick in the popularity of running, which I think is really great. I think diversity in the sport of running is so important. There can be a lot of kind of elitism in the sport, you know, regarding pace and ability and stuff like that. And I think if you're running a 14, 15, 20-minute mile, who cares? You're still running, you're still getting out there, you're still moving your body in a way that feels good. And if it doesn't feel good, then find something else. I really kind of hate this narrative right now in the fitness space where like everyone thinks that their workout is the best form of exercise. So you'll have people who do Pilates saying like, this is gonna get you better results than weightlifting for leaner muscles. But then you have the weightlifting people who are like, that's bullshit. Like Pilates won't get you the arms of your dreams. You need to lift heavy. And then you have, you know, other people being like, no, you have to do cardio. And then some people are like, no, you don't need any cardio. Weightlifting burns more calories. And it's like, or there's that clip of those women and they're doing like the bungee jumping. You know what I mean? And they're in like the moon boots almost, and they're like bungee jumping around. And it's like, women will do anything but just go to a gym. Like, literally, who cares? I cannot believe that we're arguing over how somebody chooses to move their own body in a country where there is an epidemic of being still, right? Like, in a country where so many people sit from 9 to 5. How dare you criticize how somebody chooses to exercise? If I want to go to Pilates every day of the week, who cares? Like, I'm exercising. If I want to hop on one leg for 30 minutes and call that my cardio, who are you to say? I just think that's so annoying. I do not care what kind of exercise you do. If you're running half a mile, if you're an ultra marathoner, if you're biking, if you're swimming, if you're doing Pilates, if you're doing yoga only, like, it doesn't matter. Get out there and move your body. Just try to incorporate exercise in your life in any regard. Going for a walk, that's like amazing. Don't let anybody tell you that going for a walk isn't exercise, right? Yeah, it's just great to move your body. Move it. Okay, now let's get into the stuff. I will say running can be an expensive hobby if you make it. You don't need all this stuff. The only thing you truly really need is a good pair of running shoes. And I know it's like annoying to hear that from everybody, but really truly that's all that you need. A good pair of running shoes, and then the rest you start building on. And also, if you buy everything from the get-go, it's like you really don't know what your needs are. So I think slowly adding gear to your kit, that's what the runners call it, my running kit. Adding it slowly, I think, is the better way to do it, because we all have very different needs. Like, I cannot wear flouncy little shorts because my thighs touch. I have a bigger thighs, and then I get like an insane wedgie, and I feel very self-conscious about how it looks, and it's not comfortable. I'll chafe. So if I were to go and just like buy those cute little like Nike shorts that everybody loves right now, I'd be so unhappy. So you got to learn like what your preferences are. So that's my little disclaimer. Don't buy everything at once. If you've been in the game for a minute and you'd like to see what I use, this is what I use. So let's start with the shoes. These are the Asics Nova Blast 5. Okay, look at that thick, yummy cushion. These are a very like mushy gushy responsive shoe. The cushion on this is fantastic. I feel like the toe box is wider than some other shoes that I've tried. I prefer a very, very mushy shoe. Like, I need as much cushion as possible. My husband, for example, likes a firm shoe, so what you like is gonna vary, but that's what I run in. I've ran nearly 200 miles in those so far this year, and yeah, I'll probably buy another pair of those when they are done. It's like around like 350 miles. I'll switch them out. They've been great for me. I use them for everything. I only had one pair of shoes. I know that a lot of people have shoe rotations. I did my easy runs, long runs, tempo, speed work. They were my race day shoe. They were everything. I think for a beginner, you really only need one pair. That was a good option for me because I knew I wasn't going to have like a race day pace. I knew that my goal for the half was just finishing, right? So I didn't need like a speed race day specific shoe. I needed something that was gonna like carry my body for nearly 3 hours. The second thing that I bought was my Apple Watch. I don't think that you need an Apple Watch. Download Strava, the free version. You can just click record, put it in your pocket, run, and it'll record the route for you. My watch, I was like scouring the internet for deals, right? So this is the Apple Watch 10 and it's the cellular version. I got mine on sale, and then I had a coupon through Target. I had like 2 coupons, and so I stacked them. A couple weeks later, the original price dropped even more, so I emailed them to get a price match, and they sent me back like 20 bucks. So I got a really great deal on this. Yeah, I got the silver one. I really like it, and the reason I didn't get a Garmin was I didn't know yet how far I would take running, right? So if you're a casual runner, I think an Apple Watch is really great. And I figured, you know what? If I stop running tomorrow, if I wake up and I hate it, like I can still wear this to work, you know what I mean? It's functional in my day-to-day life. I like wearing an Apple Watch to work, especially when I was nannying, because if I wanted to like charge my phone downstairs and we were playing upstairs, then I could still get my texts, you know, from parents and like check in, whatever. So I've had an Apple Watch in the past. I had the very first Apple Watch that ever came out. My brother got it for me, actually. It was so nice, like randomly, I think. He just got it for me. I wore that thing for like 6 years until the screen literally fell off. So then I didn't have one for a few years and I got this one. I think it was a great purchase. Don't regret it. When I want to look nice, like I don't wear this, but in my day-to-day, I actually do like to track my steps. It tracks my sleep, which has been really helpful because I've noticed that when I get like 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep is when I feel my best, which is insane. I'm like a 6-week-old golden retriever puppy. I'm like, like I need so much sleep. All that information was really beneficial in learning how to recover from runs and like learning what my body is happy with. I also wanted to get a watch so I could track my heart rate with runs. When you start running, you're gonna get all these people on like your reels, on your TikTok, whatever, and everybody talks about zone 2 training, which is basically you want to keep your heart rate. There's like zone 1 through 5, you know, low to high, and you want to keep it in 2 for building endurance. And I think it's easier to accomplish that when you actually are wearing heart rate tracker than purely going off of feel. It was helpful for me when I was running the half. Like I said, it was hot and they raised the conditions to like a yellow flag, which is basically like slow down and chill out. By looking at my watch, I could kind of gauge that easier. Okay, for music, I use the Shocks. So these are the Shocks Open Run Mini. I like how flush they are to the head. That's what the Mini is. I see some Shocks and they like dangle way out here. This one is pretty flush to your head. I never feel it. My mom had actually bought these for herself because she has a hard time finding earbuds that fit in her ears. So she was like, oh, well, I'll try the over the ear ones. And then she didn't like them, so she gave them to me. That's how I acquired these. You know, I do a lot of my runs on the sidewalk in New York City. Like there's cars, there's bikes, there's a lot going on. And so these really give me a peace of mind. I can hear everything, but I can still hear what I'm listening to. I actually don't run with music a ton. I typically listen to a podcast. I find that sometimes music is like, it almost like throws me off, like throws my cadence off. So I like to listen to a podcast and then for like that last mile or two and I'm like in the trenches, then I listen to music to like get me pumped. Yeah, even when I'm listening to a podcast and I can hear like everything around me, I can still hear the words. So really enjoy these. Obviously, it's just not something that you need, but if you're gonna be running on like, you know, country roads where it's like open and there's cars, I do think this is something good to add to your kit. Okay, let's talk about fuel, which is my favorite thing to talk about. No, this is a really, really important part of running, especially, well, obviously distance running. You know, I was in the Brooklyn half threads and some people were like planning on taking one gel for the whole half marathon. That's not gonna work for me. I'm somebody who already in my day-to-day life struggle with getting like low blood sugar crashes. I've passed out a few times in my life from having low blood sugar. I think the last time I passed out as an adult was like 6 years ago. So like I understand my body now. So in the beginning, I was just using Rice Krispie bars, like the mini ones. It was perfect. And I would just like eat them after my run, just like as an instant little carb boost. And like sometimes I'd eat half of it halfway through. And this was when I was doing like 3-mile run. And that might seem insane to you, but my body's just different. So there was one day where I didn't bring a Rice Krispie treat with me to the gym, ran 3 miles, and I felt immediately awful. Like my blood sugar had dropped. I should have brought a snack, and thankfully my husband was there and he was like, oh God, like what do you need? I need food like 10 minutes ago. So I had to get an emergency slice of pizza. So yeah, don't let anybody tell you like how to fuel your body. I think there's good guidelines, but it's just, again, it's something that you're gonna have to figure out for yourself. On longer runs, we're talking like 8 miles, even 5 miles, I would consider like a relatively long run. During a 5-mile run, I'm taking a gel in the middle. I'm taking like a full-on gel, and then I'm also eating candy afterwards. Anything longer than that, I'm taking a gel about every either 2 miles or every 30 minutes. 2 miles will take me to like 26 minutes. So it's usually every 2 miles. So that means during an 8-mile run, I'm going to take 3 gels. Again, that might seem really insane to you. I don't care if that's what my body needs. Like, I'm so scared of like the running police. Like, I'm so scared. So these are my favorites right now. I have the Honey Stinger. I like the packets. I literally just got like a big box of these just to keep in my house. And then I also really like these goo ones, the raspberry lemonade. I like fruity flavors. I don't really I don't think I like chocolatey, that just, or like vanilla flavors. That sounds gross to me, so I stick with these. And then the other thing that I really love is Haribo, the watermelon gummies. I brought some of those on the half too, so like I loaded up with gels in my running belt, and then I brought the Haribo watermelon gummies because for me, my fueling strategy for the half was going great. About every 30 minutes, I was taking a gel, but then when I got to like mile 8, my stomach started to like turn on me a little bit, and I needed something a little bit more solid, but I still wanted to keep getting sugar in there because I didn't want to get to the end and feel like shit and collapse. So I was so happy to have the candy because the physical candy really stuck well in my stomach. I did puke in my mouth twice during the half marathon, only twice. But such is life. Training your gut is a big part of it. You don't want to get to race day and chuck down 4 of these and puke, because even though I was accustomed to these, I still puked in my mouth twice. Just a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Just a little acid reflux. So that's something that I can probably improve on with my next long race. This is my newest pickup. I actually didn't use this for the half, but I've really been liking these lately, especially in the warmer months. It's just the GOO hydration tablets, literally just for more electrolytes. I like this for after my run because sometimes I have a hard time chugging down water after a run, but I like slurp this down. It's so good. This one is the strawberry lemonade. This was the biggest game changer for me. Salt sticks. I'd heard people talking about them. I was afraid to try these because I saw like a horror story reel of somebody trying these for the first time on race day, and she like puffed up from the salt, and so I was a little nervous, but this is like the best thing. I think for slow runners especially, if you find yourself getting crampy, because for me, like anything past 5 miles, my right leg would just start to cramp, like to the point where I'd have to stop the run. Ever since I incorporated these, no more cramps. Are you kidding me? It's literally a magic pill. So they're called Salt Stick. I get them in the small packs. I typically get the watermelon. I just picked up the mixed berry, so I haven't tried these yet. The packs like this are like $3 at REI, so I get them there. They literally are just like salt. They're just salt tablets. They taste like salty watermelon. And it says to chew 2 tablets every 30 minutes as a quick way to replenish electrolytes. What I do is I chew 1 every 30 minutes, so I kind of alternate. So like mile 1, I'll chew a salt stick. Mile 2, I'll have a GOO. Mile 3, salt stick. Like that is kind of the repetition that works well for me. And then also because they are yummy, it's like exciting. I'm like, oh, I just gotta get to the next mile and I can chew on some salt like I'm a deer in the forest. I'll use these on runs 5 miles or longer. I don't feel like I need them for shorter runs. I got this handheld water bottle. I will link down below, but it's not my favorite because it's collapsible. So as you drink it, it like deflates, and I don't like that feeling. But again, I just didn't know, and this was like the cheapest one that I could find. But I do love having a handheld water bottle on my long runs, especially in the summer. I don't care if I'm running 1 mile at the track. She's coming with me. Yeah, not my favorite, but I can use this if I do get a vest for full marathon. This hand strap comes off and I can put it like in the vest pocket. So I'll link it if that's what you're looking for. It's a good one. It doesn't leak. It's great, but I don't love that. Okay, I want to talk about some recovery tools. So for me, my problem area is my calves and my feet. Some people have tight hips or they get runner knee. I don't get those. I got this at REI as well. It's like $15. It's the Orb Extreme Mini. I just roll it like this on my foot. I'll do that after my run, before my run, at the end of a long day where I'm on my feet. It just like loosens up my feet. It makes them feel really good. When I was in Germany for 2 weeks, I missed my football so much, and I was like, I need to get my own. That one is my husband's, so he took it with him. He went on a work trip, and I was like, I need to get my own. So this is very lightweight too. Like I could put it in my carry-on suitcase. Like I'm gonna travel with this. I also use this on my calves. I'll place it right under my calves, roll it. It's just really great. Okay, a foam roller. I do kind of feel like this is a must. I did not understand the foam roller hype. My husband's had this for years, and I was like, I don't get it. And I'm just not gonna be a foam roll girl. And how wrong was I? This is the one we have. You can literally get it at any department store. It's really great. I will roll my calves on this after every single run. It has to be done. Just like the buildup in my calves is insane. So yeah, I think these are like $40, but I would definitely recommend if you have any like tight areas on your body. My slant board is my child. I have a dedicated corner of our living room room that is just like recovery tools, and that's where my slant board lives. Yeah, I linked the one that I got. I did get it on Amazon. I think it's, what is this one? It's $30. It folds down and I just click it into like second place and I just stand on it. It's just a really great calf stretch. Again, that's my problem area. I got this before, I think I got this even before I started running, just because like my calves are always tight and I just needed this. It's just, it gives me so much relief. I love it. Get a good ice pack. We just had some like, I don't know, rinky-dink little ice pack. Our ice pack was so old and I think it broke because it's like kind of flat. So anyway, I got this new ice pack and I know it's so simple, but this thing is awesome. It's so big, but it's so flexible. And so I ice my feet after every run just as like a prevention thing, and you can wrap it like all the way around your foot. Yeah, just really great. I mean, listen, you're probably going to get injured at some point, so have a really good ice pack on hand. Also, this ice pack specifically, it stays like freezing cold for like an hour, so that just has been great. Okay, a massage gun. I know, ugh, it's not a need, but it's really nice. I did not buy this. We've had this for like 5 years now. My husband bought this. My husband loves stretching, like all of these kind of things. Like he has like the hook that you put, he just loves all this stuff. So we've had this for years and years and years. We got it when I worked at Target, so they were on sale and I got my discount on top of it. So if you want to treat yourself to something fun, you won't be disappointed, is what I'm saying. Like I will vault my calves, and it's, again, it's all about the calves. Like the calves need so much TLC. But yeah, it's really great when your muscles are sore. I think it really does like loosen up the lactic acid in my legs. I really love it, but it's not something that I bought specifically for running. It's like something we already had. So I think you can get like the minis for like 100, 120, something around there. So if you know, want to splurge, want to spend a little bit of your birthday money, you won't be disappointed. It's really good. You will chafe. You don't think you'll chafe, and then you'll chafe. So this is Body Glide. This is the original. I guess they make one for women, but from everything I've read, it's pretty much the same. So I just got this one. This is like the travel size. I would get the bigger one because sometimes the travel size can be a little bit hard to apply. I actually use this under my sports bra. I don't even use this on my legs. Right under my sports bra, no matter what sports bra I'm wearing, I was always chafing right here. And the first time it happened to me, I ran, I think like 5.5 miles, and I felt great. I was like, oh my God, that was like one of the best runs ever. Nothing went wrong. And then I got home, took my shirt off, and I had blood all over my sports bra. And I was like, oh my God. It was like the smallest little chafe mark had caused all that. That's when I added this to the rotation. And if I wear this, I'm good. Sometimes I'll put it underneath too if I suspect that like my neckline is gonna rub. Also, okay, maybe it's TMI, but whatever, I'm gonna tell you because I feel like sometimes people don't talk about this. I have to use this on my bikini line sometimes. I chafed on my bikini line and I was like, oh my God, like I was like, oh, and it was the worst. It was just, you know, obviously you can imagine. So you can put this on your bikini line as well, and then you won't chafe down there. Nobody wants to chafe down there. It was awful. Body Glide, it's safe to use literally everywhere. I opted for a running belt and not a running vest. A lot of vests were kind of expensive, and so that was the main reason I didn't go the vest route. And also I just thought that it might be too hot or just feel too uncomfortable. And for myself, I thought that I could get away with a belt. So this is the, I think it's the Fast and Free running belt. I have mine in a small medium. It comes in small medium and large extra large, I believe. I have mine in the small medium, but I pretty much have it on the biggest setting. I did try the large extra large, but the tail was way too long. I'm a size 6, like size 28 waist. If you're anything above that, I would probably go for the large. This is the one I have. Pretty standard. I mean, it's just zips up, but this is very stretchy, so you can fit a ton in here. I like to have my phone in my pocket, and then in here I'll do like my keys, all my gels. I'll usually put like a gel or two in my pocket with my phone, and then that's on my left side, and then my right side becomes the garbage pocket because in New York City there's a lot of trash cans around, so usually I'll just throw that right into a trash can, but if I can't, I stuff it into my pocket. I think it's really irresponsible to leave goose on the ground, okay? Just put it in your pocket. Does my pocket become really sticky? Yeah, it's like covered in goo and it's sticky, but who cares? It washes out. It's just sugar. It's just sugar paste. So how is that more damaging to your clothes than like the buckets of sweat that I'm sweating? You know what I mean? Especially this like tab, you rip the tab. I will rip the tab, I'll take the goo, I'll just stop for a second. and put the tab into the pocket so it stays together. There should be absolutely no reason, especially when you're on runs not in race day, that there should be any trash left behind. Shame on you. You drop it, pick it up. Pick it up. Race day, I get it. If you're like in the pack and you still should try your hardest, but if it fumbles and you can't stop because there's so many people behind you, like if it's crowded, I get it, but try your best. But when you're running outside, no, stop, go pick it up, throw it away. Be an adult. Be an adult. I could probably go around Central Park right now and pick up like 20 of these packets. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So yeah, I usually keep 2 in my pocket and then I'll put the rest in here. Just, yeah, anything I need, chapstick, whatever. For my running hat, I love this Nike hat that I've had for 10 years. Oh my God, over 10 years. I'm 27. I keep forgetting that I'm 27. I keep thinking I'm 26 still. I'm like, wait. No, so I got this hat when I was 16 for $20 and it is still it's the Nike golf hat, but it's dry fit. It's great. I also wore this during the half. I always wear a hat when I run just because I have some like bangs that I'm trying to grow out. And so if I don't like any hair in my face, and also I'm always wearing sunscreen, but it gives a little bit extra layer of protection from the sun. So literally always wearing a hat and ponytail. That's just my go-to. I don't have any cute, fun hairstyles. It's hat, ponytail, sometimes I'll braid it. I did buy a new hat at the Half Expo, some merch, so I've got this fun little Brooklyn half hat. It's a New Balance hat. I really love this hat because it's got little air holes in it and it's a lot more like flimsy. I knew I wanted to get some merch, you know what I mean? But I wanted to make sure it was something I was gonna wear, and like realistically I probably wasn't gonna wear a t-shirt. Super cute. So now I have 2 running hats. Fun. I did get some sunglasses at the expo as well. These are by Knockaround. They're polarized, which I think is great. These were $35, like on the cheaper side for running sunglasses. I usually wear sunglasses on every single run, even if it's not sunny. I just, when I'm running, I hate to look people in the eye. It makes me so uncomfortable. So I found that wearing a hat and wearing sunglasses really like helped my like anxious feeling about like running outside. So I pretty much was always wearing sunglasses, but I was wearing my Ray-Bans, but then like halfway through my run, maybe I'd take them off and I'd shove them in my pocket and then they'd get covered in goo. And then I was like, ugh, like I actually like to wear my Ray-Bans in like a stylish way. Now I feel like I'm ruining my stuff. It was great to just get a cheapo pair of sunglasses that I don't care about. Like these could shatter and I would be like, whatever, So something that I don't care, like I shove these in my pocket, they get covered in goo, they get covered in salt, like they're better than a normal sunglasses, but they're not like fantastic. You know what I mean? The Oakleys that everybody wears are like $300 and I'm not spending $300 on sunglasses yet. Maybe I will in the future. If I start biking more, I'm outside more, if I'm hiking a lot, that makes sense. But right now, these are great. These are very random. These are bib magnets. So you can see they slide. They're just little magnets. This is a bit of a diva product. You don't need these, okay? They'll give you safety pins at every time you go pick up your bib. The first time I did an in-person race, I put my bib on with safety pins and it wrecked my jacket. It ruined my jacket. And that jacket I had gotten at the Goodwill bins, so like I didn't care. You know what I mean? I was like, whatever, this is like a $1 jacket, who cares? On like my $50 Lululemon shirts, right? I was like, no. So I wanted an alternative, and there's like a ton of things. There's like these clips and whatever, but I opted for the bib magnets, and reviews were very mixed, but I love these, okay? I mean, obviously it's a magnet, so you can put your bib on. One magnet goes under your shirt, one magnet goes over the bib. I use 4, 1 in each corner, and it stays the whole time. I used these on like a couple 5Ks before the half, so I knew that they would stay stable for the half. Literally no problem. I put a safety pin in my running belt during the half just in case, but they held phenomenally, like not even loose at all. I'll be using these for the full. For me, like if I'm gonna invest in athletic wear for running, like I don't want to get pinholes in it because the movement was just like stretching out the fabric. I don't want that. So yeah, these are really cheap. I think it was like $10 for like a pack of like a ton of them. You could probably split these with your friend. I feel like I got like 16 in a pack. I was like, okay, well I don't need that many, but they came in black and white in a single pack, and I am obsessed with these. I love these. I don't care if it's high maintenance. I don't regret this purchase at all. And I just keep them in my fridge so I can always find them. And yeah, they're great. Okay, most of my stuff is from Lululemon, okay? Well, first of all, I get a military discount there, so it's like 15% off. Yeah, that's pretty good to start with. And it works on sale, so I can get 15% off of sale stuff. And pretty much everything that I've gotten has been on sale. It's like the products that I like, but then certain colors go on sale. So that's kind of how I've built up my running gear. So the first thing that I would say to invest in is socks. Mine look a little gross right now. These are the Power Stride tab socks. So as you can see, they have this little tab at the ankle, and that essentially makes sure that you never get blisters. I love these. They do not slip. I don't want to wear a high sock all the time, right? Like when I'm wearing like 3/4 leggings, I want to wear a sock that doesn't look goofy, and this tab goes right up above the shoe. It doesn't slip. It's really great. These also come in small, medium, large. I have the large, and then on the back of the sock, it also tells you which foot it should go on, so it's a left-right situation. I bought 1 pack of these, so I have 3 pairs of running socks, and yeah, that was great because that's typically the amount of runs that I do in a week, and then I do my laundry, right? Like I said, pretty much anything under 5 miles, you don't need fancy gear. You can run with normal socks. It's just, you know, your new running shoes and normal socks. You're totally fine. 5 miles and over is kind of where like chafe zone starts for me, and you will get blisters. You will get blisters. Then I got running leggings because the only leggings I had were Lululemon Align leggings, and the Aligns are more for, you know, Pilates, yoga, something low impact, and I could just tell that because my thighs rubbed together, they were chafing and they were going to literally make a hole. So they are the Lululemon Fast and Free. I got another pair, so I have 2 pairs of these leggings. They're 3/4 length, and I love them. Okay, they fit my body great. I found it a little challenging to find running leggings, running shorts that fit my body type because I do have thicker thighs, a bigger butt, and then a small waist. These fit me like magic. They also have a drawstring, so you can really pull it in. It's got a zip pocket in the back, which I really love. These are slightly different because there's like an old version and a new version. So the old version has this pocket, which is really great because I can put my keys in there. So on like shorter mileage, if I don't want to bring my running belt, I'll just throw my keys in this zip. I do not like putting my keys in an unzipped pocket. Like that's not going to happen. Even if it's on the inside, like I want it to be zipped. So this is the older pair. They've got a zip here. They've got a zip on this pocket, which is really great. And then just like a normal, you know, sleeve pocket. These are a bit different. They're the same legging, but they don't have a zip. So it's like open in the back, and then it's got 2 normal pockets, which is fine. I'll just wear my belt with this. It's got like a lot of areas to put goos in. It's got like 5 pockets, and these are a little bit thicker, so these are like the new version. And then for the half, because I knew it was going to be warm, I mean the half was in May, I got a pair of running shorts. So these are the Swift Speed High Rise running shorts. They're 6 inches. They've got a zip pocket in the back and then 2 normal pockets on the side. Yeah, like I said, I cannot wear little flouncy shorts. Every single short gives me chafing. I bought a pair of running shorts in 2024 from Lululemon. I keep them around because they're really great for going on walks and going on hikes and stuff, but for running, they just didn't work. The only running shorts that I will be able to wear are bike shorts. I would love to be in those cutie little shorts, but functionally, they just don't work for my body type. I just need actual fabric between my thighs, or it is just not fun. I think these look cute and I feel really confident in them too. I think I wouldn't feel confident in flouncy shorts. I just don't like short shorts. I don't want my butt poking out. That's just like me. Like I wouldn't be able to focus on the running, whereas these, they just feel really great on my body, and it's like I'm not even thinking about my shorts. They just kind of like disappear and let me focus on the run. This is the sports bra that I wear. It's from Nike. I'll link it down below. I have 2 in white and 2 in black. I like them, but I have a very small chest, so I do not need a lot of support. I could probably run with no bra and be fine, to be honest. So like if you need more support, you're probably gonna have to look to, you know, runners with a similar body type to yours, because I don't know the first thing about support. Yeah, but I like this a lot. Okay, these are my running shirts. I have 4 of them. This was the first one that I bought. These are all part of the Swiftly Tech series. They're just a little different. So they make these in a ton of different varieties. I really like that there's a lot of different waist lengths. So you can get cropped, you can get waist, and then you can get hip length. Hip length for me is a bit too long. I have both of my long sleeve ones in the waist length, so it's not cropped, but it's not extremely long. It like hits right at my legging band, which I love. Like there's no skin showing, but it's not extremely long. Every single one of these I got on sale. These can be very expensive, but literally 100% of the time there are colors of these same exact shirts in the sale section. So that's what I would do. I would not buy, unless you want like black, white, or gray. Those are always full price. I like the color. I think it's cute. So blue color, really great. And then I have this hot pink, which is really awesome because it's really bright. So on like cloudy days or just days where I like just you know, yeah, it's a little dark or whatever, you need more visibility. Hot pink is really great. And then I have one waist length short sleeve. It's kind of like this pinky pastel color. And then I have one of the short sleeve in the cropped length. And this is what I wore on race day. It was good because the people who were there watching me could like spot me very easily because I was wearing like really bright. A lot of people were wearing black or like blue. So it was like, boom, right in your face. Like, here I am. I really like these. They're popular for a good reason. Again, you can just wear whatever. Like when I started out, I was just wearing like whatever old tank top I had, whatever oversized t-shirt. Problem is, again, when you hit that 5 miles or more, you're gonna start chafing. Like even your cotton t-shirts, it'll start to chafe your neck. So at some point when you're hitting those longer distances, it is good to grab a couple workout materials that are meant for running. And you know, I feel like I didn't overdo it. Too short sleeve, too long sleeve. That's really all I needed. / all I need at the moment. Okay, I think I talked about everything. Wow, there's so much to talk about, and I probably missed something, but that is just a little update on my running journey, an update on how the half went, and all of the stuff I used to get me there. Yeah, I'm just so excited to see like what the future brings. I have some goals speed-wise. Obviously, everybody wants to get faster. I'm excited to finish the 9+1 program, get my guaranteed entry into the New York City Marathon. That's so crazy for my first marathon for it to be a world major. I don't know if I can get a Runna code. I tried to sign up for their creative program. Maybe I'll email them and be like, hey, can I have a code? Or I don't know if I can just share like a join link by myself, but I'll link that down below. I kind of want to start posting more running content, but I also don't want to like dox myself, right? Like I don't want to film close to my home, but I post little things here and there about my running journey on my Instagram story. If that interests you, that's always linked down below. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.